In the cut.
Hello. What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's doing well. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the live. Welcome to the show. I see you guys, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. I hope you guys have, everyone that's tuning in right now or watching the recording in the future. Hope y'all had a great, hope y'all doing well. We got a really special guest today that I'm super excited to bring out. But before we get to that, I just wanted to tap into a few announcements that I want to get into before this. One, if this is your first time tuning in, this is a live show that you could tap in. You could type in the comments and we'll be able to interact with you if you have any questions and things of that nature. And, for those who don't know who I am, my name is Jonathan Job. I'm 24. I am a barber by trade. I'm an entrepreneur at heart. And, if you're watching this podcast for the very first time, what you want to expect is really just be educated and hopefully educated, hopefully entertained, but more importantly, inspired enough to say, hey, I've been looking for that one thing to tweak. I've been looking for that one answer. I've been looking for the missing recipe to get me to the next level. And, honestly, some of the best advice, some of the most inspiring conversations I've had have been with the relationships that I've cultivated, quote unquote, in the cut or in the barbershop. And, this is actually how I met this gentleman that we're about to bring on, one of our good friends, Remonde. And Remonde happens to be straight out of Buffalo, New York, representing Buffalo. He is a well-renowned model, had done a bunch of gigs. Trust me, when I bring him on, you're just gonna see his face, his smile. You'll know right away that he's not playing games with this. He's also a actor as well, and big in the fitness industry as well, which I know a lot. Really, all of those industries, although in different lanes, have a lot of similarities as far as mindset and work ethic goes. So he's been doing a lot of big things with that, and he's going to explain his whole journey on there. And honestly, he could be anywhere in the world today. So he happens to be here with us tuning in from Orlando. So, once he jumps on here, show him some love. If you know who he is, if you're watching this live, say hello, and we'll be able to interact with y'all. So let's bring him on the stream. My boy, my brother, Remonde Levy
what's
of
going on,
Levy
man?
Nation.
What's going on, G?
What's up, brother? How are you, man? Let the people know.
Well, man, thank you.
Awesome. Let the people know, who don't know who you are, who don't know about your background per se. Just kind of give them up to speed who you are a little bit, and I'll give.
Uh-oh. Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'll just start talking. So my name is Remonde Levy, guys, and I'm originally from Buffalo, New York. 32 years old, currently living in Orlando, Florida. I am an entrepreneur. I'm an actor, fitness instructor, pretty much a jack of all trades. Educate, I teach. I'm in in education. So, like I said, man, I'm a jack of all trades, man, and I'm really just, honored to, talk about my journey, explain to the people what it is that I do, and just provide a service for others while building my empire. So, really excited.
I love that. A man of many hats.
Yes.
And I could definitely relate. So, when I met you again, this was at the barbershop. I know you. This was back. We were in New York. This was maybe I would like to say over 6 years ago.
Over 6 years.
Yeah, definitely over 6 years ago at the very
Right.
least. And at that time, I know I met you. You were getting haircuts every single week. You were there often for. I'm sure it was for modeling, or was it for acting at that time?
No, so man, to kind of just give you a shorter version, because people's attention spans are very limited. Pretty much around, I was like 23, 24 at the time, and had an opportunity to come to New York City, and I was living, in Regal Park, Queens. And I just came across the app, and was able to come across getting this go to the barber shop, and that's where I met you guys at. That's where I met I think it was 360 at the time.
Shout out
All
to
of
3.
those good times. Yeah, man. So the history was definitely there. But you mentioned something that is actually a little bit more deeper than a lot of people may actually understand. The reasoning behind why I got a haircut, every week. A lot of people may not understand that, but they may think, people who are just tuning in, you may see this and be like, "Oh, why did he get a haircut every week, man? What is he, conceited?" And blah, 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 blah. And it's a little more deeper than that. For as long as I can remember, my father and I actually used to get our haircuts every Friday at 5 p.m. or like 5:30 p.m. or whatever, every Friday when I used to live in Buffalo. So it actually became like a tradition. Like, it kind of became something that was more of just a internal tradition, and like a more of an internal way of keeping the legacy going, knowing the fact that, presentation is key. Who you are is what you are, how you represent yourself, and being in that barber chair, every Friday or every Saturday, whenever, him and I used to go, kind of was therapeutic to a certain degree too, because it allowed bonding time. So when I was going, and like you mentioned before, when I was going to New York, when I was living in New York City, I was getting my haircut almost every week. That's because I wanted to continue the legacy. I didn't want to break the stride. And then on top of that too, I wanted to make sure that if any type of opportunity presented itself, I wanted to be right. Like, I wanted to be ready. I wanted to make sure that I held myself accountable by making sure the lineup was right, because it's the old saying, if you look good, you feel good. So, being in that barber chair was a little bit more of a meaningful therapeutic session for me than just the average every day or every week or every other month getting your hair cut. It was something that was a little bit more meaningful for me.
I love that. I'm big on and I love that you brought up your father, the father-son, the whole father-son thing. That's actually a real big deal to me. I have, I have that as a like a package deal for if like a father and son come in and get a haircut, because
Yeah.
it's such a huge bonding moment that people don't really you know I mean I don't have any kids yet, but I just
I don't
understand.
either.
Yeah, I just understand the power of that. You know
Yeah.
that bond that you have just not growing up with a single mom, things like that. So
Right.
you know, I'm sure you adapted a lot and learned a lot. Was that the industry that he was in, or was that something that you chose on your own?
So my father was he was a skills tradesman at General Motors, and he worked there for over 49 plus years. So he worked a machine inside of a machine. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And so the going back to the traditional phase of why I got my haircut every week was because of the fact that whenever we went, that was a bonding time for him and I. Like, shout out to Big J, Chopperfella Sinclair in Buffalo, New York, off of Main Street. So, who's been cutting my father's hair and my hair for over 25 plus years. So it was, and then on top of that too, you don't want nobody just touching your head, bro. You want to make sure that the lineup is correct, your fade is right. Like you can't be having your line up here, your line, So it's just it was more of a comforting, and I kind of felt safe being in that environment while being around him, and just and then also having like the barbershop talk, the bro code, not crossing it.
Yeah.
What, stay in a barbershop, stay in a barbershop. It just had that feel, like that alpha mentality, and then when you get back into the world, it was okay, time to be a little bit more relatable, so to speak. So and then I still carry that tradition now, kind of. I still get my haircut every week. It may not be on the same day, but it's almost every week I get my haircut now, so that I can somewhat kind of keep that tradition going, because I know that was something that him and I used to always do. And I speak to him in present tense because he passed away a little bit over a year ago.
Wow. So, you know, your main thing, I would say, what would be the main thing that takes up, the most of your time right now, or your main focus right now? Because again, you man of many hats. What's your main focus at the moment?
So my main focus right now is being a good quality man, honestly.
Love that.
That's really the main thing. And then transitioning from that, being a loyal man, a loyal friend, a loyal family member, to a certain degree, because you still got to protect your peace, and then taking those qualities that I have and allowing those qualities to transition me into being a role model for others, and then taking that, providing that opportunity into acting, and allowing all the emotions that I still have, due to father's passings, due to, you know, allowing it to be an artistic format for me to express the best way I know how with what God has given me: looks, intelligence, vocal ability, all of those good things. So it would be, like I said, to be a good quality man, and then taking those qualities that I have and those characteristics, transitioning them and transforming them into the art, of acting.
You know what's funny? I always wondered, if you are, let's say you have a scene
Mhm.
and you got to have a certain emotion on for that scene, whether it's crying on cue,
Yeah.
laughing, even laughing on cue I'm learning is like kind of weird as well, like. So, how is that for you? Is this something that you do on cue? Is it something you remember something?
Yeah, you asking for the payments behind these little questions here, bro. But no, it's cool. I've recently got with an actor coach, and his name is George Lowe, and he's located out of Atlanta, Georgia. And it's funny, I actually just had my first movie audition. And I'm really excited. Thank you, man. Thank you. I
Love
just
that.
had my first movie audition, man, and I'm still kind of waiting to hear back or whatever. But a lot of people forget, and I'm gonna answer your question, but a lot of people forget that getting the audition itself is the actual win, because you're already surpassing thousands, hundreds, if not thousands of other actors or people who want to break into this industry. You see what I'm saying? So you getting the audition is the win, and then, doing the act and doing it. So going into your question, when it comes to crying, it's actually you're not trying to cry. That's the crazy part. It's not like, in a good example is Will Smith. Will Smith, when he cries, he's actually trying not to cry, but because of the emotional context of that particular script that he might be reading from or that he studied from, he allows himself to not allow those emotions, to overpower him by kind of suppressing. So when you suppress those emotions, you kind of automatically start crying. You see what I'm saying? So those are some of the techniques that I've been kind of like learning from, and all those good things. And then just tapping into the actual character itself is something that I've been trying to dissect and understand, whether it's happy, whether it's sad, whether it's, whatever the case may be, really.
So you mentioned acting as, being your main focus right now. And I'm again, being a good human being and sharing that through your creative field of acting.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming the fitness part that you took part in, that came before all of this. Like, this was your lifestyle before.
Yes, it was. So
Talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, when I first got to New York City, pardon me, when I first got to New York City back in 2013, 2014, I was a twig, bro. Like, I was a $165, $160. I mean, I got before and after pictures, bro. You would have thought I was sick, honestly, man, because I was just skin and bones. Like, I don't know what was going on. But I could jump out the gym, so I was just a basketball player, built like a basketball player, but a skinny one, like Kevin Durant when he first got drafted, bro. But anyways, I had an agent at the time, and he told me that he was like, man, I need you to, bulk up, or whatever the case may be. And I decided to do that. I decided to get into the gym. I got my membership at Blink in New York City, Blink Fitness. Got my membership at Blink. I had had a friend of mine, associate of mine, that kind of gave me a couple of the techniques and some good advice. And I took that and ran with it. And I knew I was already an athlete and an athletic individual. So I just pretty much had the mind frame of, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it right, and I'm gonna continue to do it. And then it kind of became like an addictive lifestyle for me. And it's funny, people sometimes ask me, like, so like, if you weren't into acting, if you weren't into being a brand ambassador or model, would you still be in fitness? Absolutely. Because you could be a lawyer, you could be a doctor, you could be a police officer, you could be the CEO, you could be whatever you can, in this world. You could be the president, bro. And if you are not internally or physically, well off to a certain degree where you can, bend over and move and do certain things, it's not going to work well for you in the longevity, and like I said, man, it's just health and wealth is really important to me. So the fitness thing is just something that I've already kind of like just mentally just had a click for, and it's just there. Like, it's something that I'll always be a part of. It's never not going to be a part of who I am. It's just something that's embedded in me, so
I feel that. I feel the same way. I'm definitely not working out to be in any photos or anything like you.
No, it's cool, man.
Again,
No
just
judgment.
just longevity, being able to enjoy your hard work for as long as you can. So you it's safe to say that your everything that you have your hands on, from acting, fitness, to I know you also do the commercials, like all of it is all in alignment with each other, in some way, some shape, somehow. So talk about how you as someone that's what some people say, again, man of many hats. Some people say you're juggling a lot of things. Some people might say that, one day you're doing this, one day you're on a podcast, one day you're a model, one day you're a fitness instructor. Like, what, how does that kind of perspective of someone who's looking on the outside in, how does that transition in your field? Because for me personally, a lot of people, again, some people meet me, it's their first time they see me on this podcast,
Yeah.
and they're like, wait, and you're a barber as well, like,
Yeah.
or some people, they meet me, it's very, very few, but like sometimes people meet me as a DJ and they're like, wait,
Right.
wait, you got a podcast? Oh, wait, you do this. So, and for me in the beginning, I was just like, if I was going to do anything, it had to help another aspect of what kind of brand I was trying to build,
Facts.
So on your end, is that kind of how you look at things?
Well, we live in a day and age, man, where versatility, I think, is important. You want to be able to show range. I mean, for me, man, I've taken the time to pretty much, like, a lot of people, I think, forget, or they may not even know this, especially the people that are kind of just tuning in or maybe watching this. But I got 2 degrees, bro. You know what I'm saying? I got a bachelor's and a master's degree. So people who may just be following me now on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Snaps, whatever the case may be, may just be kind of looking at you or judging you, so to speak, off of the physical appearance. And that's okay because they may not know. But at the same time, it's just like, I do got some brains too. So for me, I guess it's always been me wanting to show range in everything. Okay, cool. He's got a BA in mass communications with a concentration in broadcasting. Okay, he's got a 1-year degree, master's degree in entertainment business. Oh, he's winning. He was at one point, a paraprofessional, a substitute teacher, a disciplinary secretary. Then he taught business education and night TV at Westwood Middle School in Polk County, Florida. And then he went into, all while doing that, still trying to navigate the entertainment industry and modeling, and then transitioning that into acting. So it's you hear these stories, man, of like, and I guess it's the only way I can say, like, you hear some stories from like actors who had all these type of odd jobs, bro. You see what I'm saying? And it's really the truth. And I'm kind of like a living testimony of that right now. Like, I've had different jobs. I was a server at one point, bro. Like,
It sounds like experience to me. That's
yeah,
what
like my resume, bro, is you see what I'm saying? It's elongated. So and I want people to understand, I'm not saying this to sound conceited or to sound like I'm trying to show off. I'm just trying to express the fact that I'm humble enough to do the due diligence of my work by having a 9 to 5 or having a part-time job to get to where I believe I know I deserve to get to once that time comes, once I have the opportunity to get there.
Right. Yeah. It's. I'm sure there's a lot of people that can relate too. Shout out to everybody that's really working a 9 to 5 and still pursuing their passion and their dream, because you just understand that there's more out there, and if God woke you up today, why wouldn't you chase after it? It could be as simple as that. Really, it could really be as simple as that. And so I think about, when you say, like, you have a long resume, I think about the same thing where, again, I'm sure a lot of things you experienced, you didn't even sign up for, but you were able to take it and apply it to whatever you're going through now. It's kind of similar to where I'm at, where, again, hosting a podcast, I don't think about, the audio that goes behind this, the camera work, and putting a podcast, curating all this. But it's like, now I could probably, if I were to ever, I'm probably not going to make a resume anytime soon. But if I ever had to, it's like, I would definitely put these things on there, just and the fact that I know, the work that goes behind it, you're able to gauge yourself and kind of just have that as a notch under your belt, and then raise the price up, man, because, again,
absolutely. The crazy part about it is, bro, like, I really feel like I haven't even started good yet. That's the crazy part. Like I
love
feel
that.
like I'm nowhere close to where I want to really be. And I don't think nobody really ever gets there because we always want more. But like I haven't even reached my prime yet. These are just things that I've done throughout the years to get me to the point that I'm at now and to where I want to get to. Like I'm technically still a baby in the entertainment industry, man. Like
Oh
people
yeah.
don't really know who I am just yet, but one day they will, and I'm okay with that. It's kind of I had to understand this, and it took me a while to understand it, but I had to understand that the process right now is the part of the journey, So that's pretty much it with that.
No, it's so true because I've been talking about this. I've been telling this to a few of my clients, but there's a trend going on Instagram or TikTok right now where you have like a current video or picture of what you're doing, and then you have like a baby picture of you.
Yeah, right.
And you complaining about something like, dang, like why ain't nobody get me in their film or in their movie, or why am I not a barber yet? And oh, why am I not a barber? Why don't I have clients through the roof yet? And the baby picture is like, wait, you auditioned for a film, or you're a barber? Like it's crazy to me how just we're able to. And that's why I love this, because you'll be able to watch this. By the time somebody probably is seeing this right now, maybe your film is out already, or maybe they're watching you on another commercial already by the time this is out, bro. It's and I truly believe that, man. I'll tell you funny, not funny story, but to me it's a pretty cool story where I wrote down. I had written down. I think it was like I do this every year, where like around New Year's time, I'm kind of just like thanking myself in advance, if I could put it that way. And I'm thanking myself in advance by writing myself a letter. And I'm in the letter, I'm saying, yo, thank you for everything you did this year. Thank you for staying the course. Thank you for making 100 episodes on Live in the Cut show. Thank you for, having this barbershop. Thank you for Live in the Cut. Thank you for, like all these things. And
giving yourself flowers.
Yeah, a little bit, a year, literally like a few. Sometimes I'll just like forget about it, and then I'll find, I put the letter away, somewhere I can't find it, and I find it, a couple days later. I mean, I find it like a year later or something like that, maybe even more. And I looked at it, and I started reading it, and I'm like, yo, this happened, this happened, this happened, and I didn't even know how any of it was even gonna come to fruition, let alone, thriving from it.
Right.
So I'm with you, man. I'm with you.
Yeah, man. Like I said, it's a process, man. And I'm
Yeah.
I'm still in it myself, bro. Like I just, even though I'm 32, bro, like I feel great. I feel healthy. I'm blessed, right? But like, there's no book on what you're supposed to do at 32 years old, who you're supposed to be at 30. Like, society makes it seem certain, but that's just not how life is. And with me being a logical thinker and a structuring individual, I've had to have, certain people come into my life that are extremely loving and a blessing to me, to be like, yo, like chill out, like just relax. Like, I think, was it you tell God your plans, he'll laugh at it or something like that. So that's pretty much how it is, man. So I'm really just taking it day by day, honestly.
I love that. And I wanted to ask about the film, and kind of like the backstory of like the business, I guess, of acting. But before I get to that, I definitely want to show some love to the people that are tapping in. I see you guys tuning in. Twitch, if you lurking, say hello. YouTube, say what's up. And if you have questions pertaining to anything, entrepreneurship, acting, health and wellness, something that you can tap into the conversation, feel free, and we'll definitely get to it. Now, let me just put this. So, I got acting is very similar to acting is very similar to, or I should say the other way around, because I think most people know about acting, but like podcasting, very similar to acting, which again is entrepreneurship in itself. right? And as we transition to this halfway point, right? We've been on here for a little about half an hour. This second half of this, I really want to focus on the kind of the business aspect to this as well, which not many people, when you have a dream, when you have a goal that you're trying to do, a lot of it is you running off of energy. You running off of, I got a vision and it's happening.
Sometimes you run off fumes, bro.
Yeah,
but dude, like honestly, like there's, bro, like it's crazy, man, because there's moments where I'm tired. Like, body is tired, mentally tired,
and that's okay. Hold on, that's okay. Quick on the mental health tip.
Yes,
it's a real deal when people feel like, yo, I've been busting my butt for X amount of years and I'm not seeing nothing yet. Like, that's a normal feeling. It's like, it actually means that you're getting closer to where you are. But I've seen it where, I saw, this is a little off topic, but this, was it CEO of something jumped off he committed suicide, jumped off the edge of a cliff, edge of a building. I think it was.
Who you talking you talking about? Was she a girl?
No. It's a guy. He was the CEO of something, big company. I can't. It lost my mind. But point being is, you just never know what people are going through. Especially on the outside when they look, everything looks well. It's. I just want to be the first and foremost to say, like, it's okay to say you're tired, because as a man, it's very easy to be like, I got this. I'm in control. I'm protecting. I'm holding it down for the family and things like that. But I had to touch on that.
No, and that's good. It's a good point, because it's funny. It's actually mental awareness month.
Wow.
Yeah, it's mental health awareness month. So, it is imperative, man, that you stay on top of your mental as much as possible. Taking that time away from social media if you need to, even taking your time away from work. I think a lot of people, and I think it's the older generation, and I think, watching my father literally work 11 to 14 hours every day, and then coming home at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, cutting the grass, working at the house, then eating at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. Then he's got to shower, and then he's got to, maybe get 3 hours of sleep, maybe, and then wake up at 2 to be at work by 3:30 or 4 o'clock. That mind frame and mentality for your brain is not healthy. And so, this is why I say Alzheimer's and dementia is, to me, the worst disease in the world, because literally I could be talking to you right now, and then tomorrow you call me and be like, yo, Ramon, that was such a great podcast and interview, man. Thank you so much for the opportunity. And I'm like, what? Like, what are you talking about? And you see what I'm saying? And that comes a lot from people, who, lack of sleep, or, not allowing the brain to rest, you know what I'm saying? And not, feeding your brain with healthy nutrition and stuff like that. And, I love my father to death, don't get me wrong, man, but I am so determined to make sure that I, for one, bring awareness to what Alzheimer's and dementia and how, that's what Levy Nation is all about, and we'll get into all of that. But I don't want to live like that, because I understand I understand the route or the path that can go into, and how it can be detrimental to my health. Not taking anything away from what he's done and what he did do in the past. But I just know that I think the older generation, just didn't understand the importance of resting and taking time to rest. So I encourage people, please take your time to rest your mind, take that vacation, You know, if you don't want to go to the gym, don't go to the gym. Take some time to just meditate. You know, drink your water, drink your alkaline water, drink your sea moss, eat your sea moss. Like, you know what I'm saying? Drink your coconut water. Like, do the things like go get a massage, go, you know, whatever. Go get a haircut. You know what I'm
Self-care.
saying? Like
Self-care.
self-care, man. It takes a
self-care.
lot off the brain for certain things. It'd be the smallest stuff. It'd be some of the most weirdest things in the world that, and I think as men too, at the same time, I think we allow our pride to kind of get in the way of that. So the vulnerability aspect of things kind of is almost like fearful for us to kind of like exhibit and understand, because some men weren't taught that, you know, and they maybe didn't understand the benefits of tapping into that, you know, part of their emotions. And you know, because we're so known for provide, do this, do that, you know what I'm saying? And but not taking the time to kind of like relax, be who you are. It's okay to, you know, be sensitive sometimes. It's okay to be, you know, just emotional at times too. It's okay to cry. You know what I mean? Like you have to allow those things to, you know, operate in your own internal, you know, and psychological mind frame in order to progress for the next day. Because if you don't, things could go wrong possibly. You know.
Mm-hmm. I see a lot of actors that are on social media, right? Don't get it wrong. You see a lot of people on social media. We saw Will Smith blow up during the pandemic, DJ Khaled, you know, like all the people on social media. But you did mention something about sometimes taking a break off of social media, just because the quote unquote culture, you know, sometimes is a little, not sometimes is it, you know, it could be very, you know, you scrolling down your timeline and you just
it can be overwhelming,
in the
bro.
sauce. Yeah,
it can be very overwhelming.
I tell, like, honestly, if it wasn't for business, having a business, it's out. Like, Instagram is not what it originally was, you know.
No, it's all business now. It's all about money. It's all about clout. It's all about it's I watched something that Denzel Washington said about maybe 2 years ago, and I'm like, bro, this makes so much sense. He was getting interviewed by the media. I think it was one of his movies. I think Fence had just came out. The movie Fence or Fences. And he was getting interviewed, and somebody said that he was doing something or running for something, and he was like, it's not true. Because you know the internet knows how to make it. The media, they know how to make lies about something. You know what I'm saying? And so he said, pretty much, he said, if you read the newspaper, you're misinformed. If you don't read the newspaper, you're uninformed. And then, you know, the media, I guess the interviewer was just like, well, wow, like, well, what do we do? And he's like, well, that's a good question. He's like, pretty much saying like, well, that means what type of job do you guys have then? You see what I'm saying? Like, not all information that you give is accurate. You know what I'm saying? And then vice versa. And that we live in a world now where if you just say it or do it, whether it's good or bad, they just sell it. You know, you just get the publicity for it. You know what I'm saying? We live in that world now where it's just like, to me, people who be doing some of these just dumb things, you know, that's the only way I can say it on Instagram, just to get like recognition. It's just mind-boggling to me sometimes. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm just like, dude, you're only doing this for clout. Like, you know, you're not doing this to be of service to something or to someone. And I'm a realist, bro. Like, I'm the type of person where if I see something like that, I can't relate to that. My mind frame and the way, like, it kind of bothers me in a way. It's like I can't relate to stupidity. You know what I'm saying? So why are you doing that? Like, that generation is just weird to me.
And I feel that. That's when the unfollow button comes in handy.
Right. Exactly.
So
exactly.
June, shout out to my boy June. Shout out to my boy June, man. More life, my buhai, man. How are you? I see. So I don't want to butcher this. I see two names on here, but one says Faith, the other one says Nikita. And I know I don't want to, you know. But she did throw a question on there.
Okay.
And I would love to get to it, just because I know who she is. She
Right.
gets to skip everybody on the questions.
Well, yeah, I appreciate it.
But she said, what is your advice for staying consistent with self-discipline when it comes to work, eating habits, and workouts? And yeah, really just about anything, man. Staying consistent for self-discipline. And you know, if I could just share with, you know, before you share yours,
Yeah,
for me, it really is something that's been helping me out is something that Kobe Bryant said, where he basically had a schedule where he was 2 hours on work, grind, head down, and then he had 3 hours of rest. Now, the key there was that he started that routine earlier than everybody else, which was
like
at
4 o'clock in the morning.
4 a.m. So you say you get up at 3 to get to work at 4. You get to work at 4, from 4 to 6. You're at work, you're grinding, you're at the barbershop, you're creating content, you're practicing acting, you're practicing whatever it is your field is. And then from you're done by 6. So from 7 to 7, 8, 9, 10, right around 10 o'clock, you're relaxing, you're eating breakfast, recovering, and then boom, by 11, you're already on your second workout, while most people only been on their first. So it's not so much like it's really just being able to get more reps in, whether, again, on my end, it's like waking up earlier to just shoot content, or edit content and things like that. Yes. But what is it like on your end, the fitness world, the, acting world, right? Like, how is that for you?
So I'm gonna piggyback off of what you said, and that's a great analogy, and it's actually a really good example. And this is the thing. Kobe did something, rest in peace to Kobe, one of the greatest. Kobe did things that worked for him. E.T., Eric Thomas, the hip hop preacher, right? He does the same thing. He gets up like 2 o'clock in the morning or 3 o'clock in the morning. He's already working. He's doing things that work for him, right? Then you have other, like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. He also gets up at like 3 or 4 in the morning. What does he do? He does things that work for him. The reason why I'm saying that is because I feel like people sometimes get caught up in what some of these stars are doing, or what some of these influencers are doing, or whatever, right? In thinking they can emulate exactly those things, but they're struggling because everybody's schedule is different and not everybody's the same. So you have to do what works for you. Sometimes you may not have the capabilities of getting up at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning. You see what I'm saying? Maybe your time is getting up at 6 in the morning or 8 in the morning, but you can still be strategic throughout your day and get those things accomplished. And to go back to what is that you asked me into, like, what gets me, for me is, quote unquote, it's my why. My why personally is my father who passed away. Before that, it was still my dad, because I knew what he was going through. And my mom, of course, because she was the primary caretaker and she was literally there in the moment. You see what I'm saying? So my why is really my parents. Like, I used to kind of have, it's about me. It ain't about me no more. It's never really been about me for the past, like, maybe 3.5 to 4 years. Because back in 2019, going to 2020, when I was coming out of my teaching, I already made my mind frame up after I had got the notion that he had alzheimer dementia, that it was either I'm going back to Buffalo, and I was here in Orlando at the time. I was either going back to Orlando, Buffalo, New York, to help my mom out, or I was going to LA to really pursue my dreams and to really make it and to really get after it and to really be that actor that I believe myself to be in. You know what I'm saying? So that I can be like, okay, hey mom, here's 20,000, here's 10,000, here's 11, whatever, 5,000. Make sure dad got the proper aid. Hey, actually take yourself a vacation. I'm gonna send somebody to the house. They'll watch dad for about 2 to 3 weeks while you take some time for yourself, while you can recuperate, be that wonderful wife and mother and caterer and all that good stuff for pops. That was the goal, but then COVID hit. You see what I'm saying? 4 months into me going to California. So that was a transitional and mental phase for me, because I had this plan and then it got kind of like chopped in half, so to speak. But I still had that resiliency to stay, because I kind of came to a reality check at that moment, because I was in a kind of a weird situation. I was like, okay, I can either stick it out in Cali, or I can go back and I can be like, whatever. So I chose resiliency, and I stuck it out and I grinded it out and all those good things, networked, met a couple good people while I was out there. But I also got a taste of envy, which is a whole nother topic. You know what I'm saying? But I would say and encourage people to go back to what you're saying, to find what works for you, while still being motivated, by the Will Smiths, the Rock, Dwayne and Rock Johnsons, the Kobe Bryants, the ET, Eric Thomas. They'll be motivated by those individuals, but you don't have to emulate or that structure. You have to find a structure that works for you because they found a structure that worked for them. You see what I'm saying? And I think sometimes that's the missing piece from people who are trying to get to where those individuals are, or whatever the case may be. I think some people forget to say that you got to do what works for you.
So, the acting industry is there's no it's not really like a cookie cutter success route, or how the business of it, right? Like, it's not like it's a paid internship, or you're getting funded somehow along the way while you're learning. It's a lot of personal development. You're developing yourself as a person.
Oh, you're doing stuff in the dark, bro. When people ever see, like, that's what I think a lot of people don't understand that. Like, it's, well, let me take that back, because I apologize. It's not that people don't understand that. It's just the people who forget that what is done in the dark will come to light, but you have to do your due diligence, bro. Like, honestly, over the summer, I wouldn't be surprised if I haven't done maybe close to 50 or over 50 auditions, self-tapes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just maybe from April, May to now. You see what I'm saying? And I haven't gotten booked for any of them yet, or whatever the case may be, but it's me doing the hard work, going to the gym by myself, doing the self tapes and auditions by myself, studying. Like, bro, I'll be in the shower and just thinking, like, coming up with scenarios of, like, emotions and doing weird stuff. Like, you literally have to be weird. You know what I'm saying? To really either go after your dreams. Like, it's kind of like having that blind faith of understanding, like, I know where I want to go. I know what I'm trying to accomplish. I know what I want to do. It's just not tangible yet. I just can't taste it. I can't feel it. I can't smell it. But it's there because you believe it's gonna happen. And you kind of gotta have that strong belief, because God didn't give you that. Like, the one person that I kind of like watch, and he's very intelligent about how he goes about it, Steve Harvey. Like, you can't tell everybody your dream, man, because even your family and sometimes your friends, because they'll be the main ones to kind of like just shut it down. And it's not, and what God gave you, the dream that God gave you, it's what God gave you. He didn't give you that dream. So them telling them, oh, you want to be an actor, or oh, I want to be a DJ, or oh, I want to be a barber, or oh, I want to be a model, or oh, I want to be a fitness guru, or whatever. And then they shrugging, or they like giving these funny facial expressions. That's indication that it's not theirs to understand. It's for you. So you have to be very aware of who you tell and what you do around people who may not understand it. You got to find people that are like-minded.
Some people, oh yeah, I want to be. You want to be an actor? Oh, you want to be an actor, huh? You better get back in school. You better get
back. Facts.
Yeah,
bro, I'm telling you, I've heard it. I've had it, bro. But I'll be the one to tell you, man, I've had my doubting moments. I've had it. Like, I'm not perfect, bro, and I'm not even trying to be perfect. I may sometimes strive for perfection, but I understand that I'm human, bro. Like, I'm not trying to be nobody that I'm not. I'm not trying to be anybody but Remonde Levy. That's it.
So talk about let's get into this Levy Nation.
Yeah.
Levy Nation, yeah.
So Levy Nation started with. It's funny. The New Year's is getting ready to come up. I started Levy Nation actually on January 1st, 2022. Like I was like, you know, the fireworks was going and all this stuff was going while I'm like working on my brand, working on merchandise, working on, you know, everything on my website, working on my domain name, working on all of those things. And, you know, going, you know, almost a year later now, you know, people are starting to understand what it's all about. But it was inspired to implement the importance of health and wealth, and understanding that you're you know, bringing the, I guess, the wholehearted concern and awareness to Alzheimer's and dementia, because even though my father didn't pass from that, he had it, um, and that alone made me kind of open up a transitional phase to letting other people know the importance of your brain and the importance of sleep, or the importance of nutrition, the importance of taking care of your body, um, as much as possible. And I know for a fact that once I have a bigger platform, that I'm going to talk about it in interviews, on red carpets, in movies, in, you know, TED Talks, whatever might come my way, whatever opportunity I have, just like right here, like what I'm doing now, I'm going to make sure that I express the importance of that. So you can, you know, for people who are watching Levy Nation, guys, you can go to www.remondelevy.com and you can look at my link tree. You can check out some of the Levy Nation gear that I have, just to show the importance of health and wealth, and you know, what I'm trying to do.
So for Alzheimer's, dementia, a lot of people, you know, you see it in movies, you know, you see, you know, and, you know, you might even see it, you know, in real life, you know, if you have, you know, your people around you that, you know, are diagnosed with it. But so, you know, again, a lot of people aren't familiar with it at all. Like how you get it or how you prevent it. Any words on that?
So I'm not a know-it-all, and I don't know everything, but
Right.
from the research that I do have, and from what I've been told or what I've looked at, it's something with your neurons, your neurological membranes, and it's pretty much, if your brain is constantly working overload, like it's just always moving, and then you have a shutdown immediately of like not activating it and not working it, there's something that triggers like, okay, my brain needs rest, but you've been working your brain on overload for so long that you've never had proper resting where it shuts down.
So rest is a big deal.
So, dude, I cannot stress the importance, bro, of getting your certain hours of sleep. You know what I'm saying? Like me personally, people who say like, and it'd be some of these celebrities too, man, and some of these influencers, after hearing that I'm only getting 4 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours of sleep. I'm sorry, but that's not enough. You know what I'm saying? Like,
there's a season for it, I'm sure.
There's a season for it. But you need at least 5 to 6 hours of good quality sleep to rest your brain. You see what I'm saying? So people need to understand the importance of rest, man, and the importance of resting your brain. And you know, it's and if you have a family member, because I've had friends who have had family members or they were diagnosed with it, and you know, it's you'll start to notice the early signs of it by, you know, misplacements, you know, slurred words, or you know, not remembering certain paths when going to the store or whatever the case may be, or, you know, just certain things will start to switch up. You know, they may repeat themselves more often, or they may drop their keys, or they may drop certain things and then be like, oh, where are my keys at? Or whatever the case may be, you know? So you have to be aware of those things, man. But things that I've learned that can help with the brain is coconut water, alkaline water, sea moss, carrots, apples, strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, dragon fruit, all those things.
I love that. Shout out to our good friends at Vegan TINGZ with their sea moss brand. They were actually on one of our recent episodes and
Oh, right.
breaking down they have the whole breakdown of CMOS and things like that.
Yeah,
whole
CMOS,
episode
out of
on that.
182 minerals, man, you get a good 90 to 92 of them. So
yeah, exactly. Yep, that's exactly what they say. So
yeah, man.
definitely shout out to them. If you're looking for any information on that, definitely tap into that last episode. But we actually on the hour mark here, and
Okay.
so as I close, try to close this up. If anybody, again, is tapping in YouTube, I see you. If you're on here, you want to say hello, drop a like, drop a share. Have any questions, feel free, and we can get to them. But one of the last, I guess it's not really a question, but it's more like you could answer this in finish my sentence kind of thing. But
Okay.
I am an actor because. And you might have said it. You might have said it earlier. You did mention your why, but it could be completely different as well.
I am an actor because I'm thinking before I say. I have the willpower to change. I am an actor because I have the willpower to change. And what I mean by that is for the better, to be consistent with myself, to emulate the importance of loyalty and commitment. I'm an old soul, man. So like just certain things are embedded in me, bro. Like I just don't ever see changing. My integrity, the value that I have behind who I stand for and what I stand for to this day will never ever be altered. It just won't. You can't pay me enough to alter my characteristics, man. So I am an actor because I have the willpower to change, and that could be changing other people's minds based off of how I represent myself. The ability to commit to something and be very, strong behind my commitment. The consideration that I take of other people's feelings and thoughts. I think that's something that people lack nowadays, man. Like people just don't give a damn. Excuse my language, but it's the truth, man. People are just not considerate anymore of other people's values or thoughts or feelings. It's just I'm an actor because, man, I'm very considerate, bro. I think that's just the reason, because I'm a Leo, I have a big heart, bro. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much it.
I love that. You could almost say that you're an actor because you just want to share being a great example.
Yeah.
And I could resonate with that, and on many different levels, just as a business owner, as a son, as a cousin, as a like just in relation in business, in like just everything. I understand that there's always even when it comes down to this podcast, you know what I'm saying? I hope somebody's looking back and one day sees this episode, whether it's a month from now, a year from now, 10 years from now, and then they're like, yo, you know what? This was episode 24, on Live in the Cut, and they was really breaking down, what I'm feeling right now, and because he was here, just really just kicking it and breaking this stuff down, that somebody was able to change, or and that's kind of what I'm more excited about that than anything else. As far as anything that I get my hands into, whether it's, like I said, just everything that I decide to be in partnership with or just put my time into, I'm always considering, like, is that something that I want to be an example of? So I feel you on that, man. I love that answer. So a lot of people right now that are tuning in, if they want to connect with you, I definitely don't want to leave this out. Where could they connect with you? So they can find you, as whether it's in the fitness field, modeling, acting, things like that.
Right. So again, man, you guys, pretty much everything is in my link tree. www.Remonde, that's ONDE Levy LEVY.com. My Facebook, my Instagram, my Snapchat, my TikTok. The agencies that I currently represent are all in there as well. Twitter is there. Everything is at _ Levy Nation _ That's LEVYNATION. And that's pretty much it, man.
You heard it here first, live in the cut with Levy Nation. And you know, if you guys are watching this as a recording, again, make sure you drop a like, drop a share. Any last words you want to share with the people?
Man, just be yourself.
I love that. Ramon, man, it's always great catching up with you. We definitely gotta revisit when your film is finally out, and we get to rewatch. You know what I'm saying? And I'm excited for everything you got going on, bro. And you know, everything that's going on with the Levy Nation. So keep us posted with that, and we'll catch up soon. Yeah.
All right, man. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
My guy, everybody else that's on here, again, we are live in the cut next week. Our episode is going to be actually going to be about social media and marketing, which is going to be pretty cool with our good friends at the Boys Co. Specifically Rivy. She happens to be the magician behind the scenes, doing all the social media work. So, you know, if you have a small business brand, or you know, a project that you're looking at how to brand, whether it's on TikTok, whether it's on Instagram, Reels, you know, that's the episode you definitely want to tap into. And everyone who else that joined us today, I appreciate y'all. Love, and I'll catch y'all next week. Peace.
Appreciate y'all. Peace.